Today we're honored to be joined by a remarkable guest. He is Priest Alex Moore-Minott, and he is an initiated priest of Myal. Myal is the first and oldest religion of Jamaica, and he's also a proud Maroon from Eastern Jamaica. Priest Alex is not only a spiritual leader, but also a human rights advocate and activist. As the leader of the West Indian Tribal Society, he champions initiatives to protect sacred traditions and sacred sites, such as the Rio Grande and Blue Lagoon, while advocating for policy change and amplifying Indigenous voices, both locally and internationally. Today, he joins us to clear up the myths and bring us closer to understanding the truth about Myal, Jamaica's oldest spiritual tradition. Welcome to the show, Priest Alex.
Peace and love, Pepita. I hope you're hearing me okay.
Yes, we are. We're seeing you too.
Yes, excellent. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. And thanks for existing, because if you did not exist, then you wouldn't know, that we are kind of stepping on our ancestors in a way. You know what I mean? So you're here to talk to us about dispelling the rumors on Myal practices. And my first question to you, Priest, by the way, I love your bandana colors.
Thank you.
Very cultural of you.
Yeah, man, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem. For our listeners hearing about Myal for the first time, how would you explain what it is in simple terms?
Well, as you said earlier, first of all, it is the first and oldest religion within the Jamaican space. Myal, of course, like any other religion, is how we, our people, our bloodline of Jamaica, or Jamaica as our ancestors called it, interact with the divine. It encompasses all our ways and traditions of interacting with the divine space, whether it is the Almighty Creator, the spirits of our land, or our ancestors. It is the spiritual intersection of the original people who were the first nation of Jamaica, or the first people of Jamaica, and the Africans who came. Because in many cases, the Africans were met by the first people of this land. There is a common misconception that the first people of this land were destroyed, our first ancestors were destroyed entirely, but that's not true. And they continue to form lively indigenous communities and maintain their traditions. So Myal is the fruit, the child of the coming together of two powerful nations, wow. The African and the Lokona Arawak Taino nation.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so there's often a confusion between Myal and Obia. What's the key difference, and why do you think that confusion exists?
I think, first of all, let me start with the confusion. Confusion tends to arise because of a lack of clarity and a lack of knowledge. And this was one of the first things that the colonizers, the invaders, whether the Spanish or later the British, sought to eradicate, which was our belief in our way of interacting with the divine. Myal is a complete religious tradition, right? And it encompasses every aspect of how a spiritual life is lived and governed, and how communities are governed as well, or ordered under spiritual conditions and spiritual law. Obia is an action, right? More than anything else, it is an action, and Obia is a tool. Obia is quite literally the mixing of potions, the creation of what people may call charms or guards for protection, that sort of thing. So the Myal priest would employ Obia, right, in terms of making medicines to heal people, making traditional items to guard and protect people from spiritual and even physical forces. Obia is a tool in the Myal priest toolkit, And I think the fear comes in because of intentions. Fearing Obia is akin to fearing a screwdriver, right? It's a tool. You should fear the person behind the use of the tool. Actions are judged by intention. So there are items that can be created by the priest using Obia that would protect a person or help that person to be more proficient in business, right? Everything that is encompassed in the action of what is called Obia is not evil, right? It is the intention of a person. During the times of slavery, etc., Obia was used extensively to fight the colonizers. Obia charms, as people would call it. Healing from the wounds of being tortured in the colonial space, etc. Right. But these were always done by the initiated and competent Myal priest. So Myal is the religious tradition, and Obia is one of the tools in the Myal priest toolkit.
Wow, I've never been explained. That has never been explained to me so clearly before. Like, I totally understand right now. It's, for example, it's like, I really don't know if I should be saying this, but it's like the rainbow. The rainbow belongs to the Most High and not necessarily to any one group of persons in the world. I'm just saying.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
There's another question I have for you, Priest Alex. Myal has survived centuries of slavery, colonialism, and the rise of Christianity. It's older than Christianity as well. Why do you think that it endured for so long?
I think that once there is a cause behind something, behind human action, causes and ideologies live on, even when people do not. And so, Myal, in its purest, most traditional form, would have been how to interact with the being that controls a particular river, that sort of thing. How to ensure that drought don't kill we in a particular year. However, when colonialism hit the shores of Jamaica, when slavery and the evil plantation system hit the shores of Jamaica, Myal became a weapon. And really and truly, if you know Jamaican people well enough, you will know that nothing unites us like fighting.
No, right? Lord, I wonder why.
Not sure why it seems to be something genetic.
Yeah.
But the problem now that we face is our people fighting each other and fighting without a cause. Myal reminds us that the highest fight is the fight for freedom. And so when the freedom of our ancestors was challenged, was compromised, Myal stood in the breach yet again to ensure that we were able to protect ourselves, heal ourselves, and remember, keep our identity. So Myal is Jamaican identity.
So you guys have been protecting us. You've been praying for us and stuff and making sure that the place, preserved properly.
As best as possible. The problem is that because foreign ideology has crept in, right? So you don't have the community unity behind Myal as it used to be.
Right.
But this is what this revival, this resurgence is all about. Reminding people, rebuilding our traditional temple, reminding people that freedom is the most important thing. So as we go towards constitutional change, Jamaican people need to refocus on identity so that we can ensure that freedom is protected.
If you could leave our listeners with one truth about Myal that you wish more Jamaicans understood, what would it be? That's if we haven't touched on it already.
I think that the particular truth that I'd like Jamaican people to be left with is that Myal is the beating heart of Jamaica. Myal is where all our famous culture comes from. Reggae, Rasta, revival, all of this springs from Myal. Myal is the reason that the Maroons, the so-called Maroons, our ancestors fought, because the primary tenet, the primary principle of Myal is freedom. The freedom to connect with the divine on one's own terms.
Yes.
So Myal is the foundation of our main national heroes, Grande, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogle, who actually fought for us to be who we are today. Myal is the root of Rastafari. Myal is out of Myal drumming that the reggae beat comes from, right? That even the dancehall beats come from. You can still listen to the Kumina drum and hear the primary dancehall beats, the one drop beat, all of these things. I'm saying, remember our identity as we are pushing forward for sovereignty as a nation. We need to remember who we are, and that's what Myal is: the Jamaican culture, the Jamaican identity.
You heard it here first on Nationwide 90 FM from Priest Alex Moore-Minott. Priest Alex, is there anybody out there that you'd like to give a shout out to? Because I want to say thank you before you do the shout out though. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and thank you so much for praying for us. Thank you for letting us know what Myal is, and dispelling some of the misconceptions that people may have had out there about it. Because trust me never know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say that it was done on purpose. We weren't supposed to know who we are and where we come from, what we're supposed to represent. And I think I'm going to shout out a very controversial figure, right? And some people might, but I'm going to shout out Chief Richard Curry, and thank him for his work in reminding our people of their roots and culture. Nobody is perfect, and but we need a reminder, and he's doing that right now. So big up to Chief Curry,
Big up Chief Curry anywhere he is, and also big up to Anu. Big up to Anu.
Ambassador,
Yeah, plenty potentiary, is it? That's the word. Y'all use some big words over there. I have to be going in my dictionary like, what? Maroons, you guys are so intelligent. But thank you so much.
We're a nation, so we have to get serious and organized. So
yeah,
peace and love to all Jamaicans.
All right.
We love you.
Hey.
And thank you, Pepita. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And thank you again. And we'll be talking to you more.
I'm here.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. So we got to say big thanks to Priest Alex Moore-Minott for sharing his wisdom and helping us to reconnect with an important part of Jamaica's heritage. His advocacy for Myal and Indigenous institutions is not just about history, it's about justice, healing, freedom, and identity today. So listeners, stay tuned.